Okay, guys, another on the couch at Rupert Cost and Customs. Today, we're going to give you a sound over here that's very familiar to many of our TikTokers, and then you'll know exactly who it is. We've got Mujie Moosa, commonly known as Mujie Moosa. We're going to touch on some subjects about him. And like we've mentioned, our podcast is generalized. It is a lot about fishing, it's just generalized. Before we go any further, this podcast has been sponsored by Ben Care Pharmacy on the corner of Wetton and Rosmead Avenue, right opposite the McDonald's on the BP garage side. We'd like to say thank you to Jabir and his family, Ben Care Pharmacy. Mujahid, my friend, welcome very, very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I'm just thinking about snook now. I don't know why. Like something about snook is happening here.
About snook?
Yeah, something fishy.
Mujahid, listen. So we're gonna touch a bit on your fishing experience, but we're gonna get there. There's a couple of things we need to touch on you.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, we'd like to. No, we're not gonna touch you. So now you guys can see what it is that we're dealing with here today, right? So this is gonna be another level of crazy. Mujahid is gonna introduce and give you the name of the wellness center that they run, and just a brief description of what it is that you guys do or what it is that you offer, what the objective is about your
So basically what I do run is called the Wellness Sanctuary Drug and Alcohol Counseling Facility. We've been up and running for 8 months now. I don't only deal with drugs, alcohol, I actually deal with people, mental issues, and so far so good. And I had 6 parties before. And now really, look, I call them tatis because today they're normal.
Oh, right.
And I fixed them up. Yeah. So they're my tatis. I'm not going to call my tati a tati. I call him a tati. Because of me being myself. Like I sing, I make my TikToks. I'm not going to change.
Yeah.
And they see that, this man, he actually got a wife. There's children. And he's still tati. So we all tati. And our objective is obviously, it might sound sick to some people, but I do believe that I can fix every addict in the world. I don't know. I woke up one morning because I come out of it. I thought, like, you fixed you, obviously with the help of your higher power. So go and fix the world. And so far so good. We're doing well.
Yeah,
we're doing well.
That's your mission, obviously.
Definitely my mission.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't wash this morning because I had to save somebody. I hope you're asking. I have Fredericks is not here, but. I took your advice and I put another jacket so the smell don't come out.
Yeah, zip it up.
Yeah, I don't fit anymore.
Look, obviously, as you mentioned, you deal with people that have alcohol and drug addiction.
Yeah.
So the reason why I gave Ibrahim the idea just to bring you on because this man have a fishing addiction. I don't know, can you maybe help with that as well?
Nah, I don't want to get involved. Some fishermen still got some bad blood against me, but I love them. I do. I did something wrong, but I do
maybe
love them.
Go into that. I heard the comment. The reason why you told us that you're not gonna be going as long as we don't talk about fishing. You'll come on it.
Yeah, we can talk about it as well.
How was it?
No, nobody's waiting here outside.
No.
Look, we went to Varkiesbaai, so it was my first 4x4 experience, right? It was myself, my cousin Ali, Fred Butler, Shadru. I know we were 5. I was the youngest at the time and the smallest. I looked at driving and I thought, Owens, how do I find myself with this rods? And they excited now, I was going to I don't know. First this, first that, first. And I'm thinking, I couldn't just stay at home and sleep because this idiot is only talking about fish. But I realized like they escaped from their wives. But I couldn't say it. Yeah, I couldn't say it at the time because like they're really big, man. And I'm watching them. Eventually, it took us like almost 10 years to get there, up and down and up and down. That's how I asked about this medication because I needed it. And eventually we got there and I was getting cold, man. But I was warned, bring a big jacket, a long jacket. Eventually, Ali felt sorry for me. Ali's 100 times my size and I had on the long jacket. Now we get to the spot, I look around, I see, but like, there's no life, man. Like, why are we here? I met an old friend of mine also fishing. And I thought, okay, look here, man, I'm going to help you people, maybe, We come from Cape Town, we know, you must take the keys out of the car. So the thing was like, here, the jacket. And I took the keys out of the bakkie. We're in the middle of nowhere, there's no signal. I put it in here and I started jumping over the rocks to get to this friend of mine and to have a chat. Half an hour later, I was like, where's the bakkie keys? I said, nah, they don't take it. Look here, I could see, look here.
But you know you took it though.
Definitely. And I could see the seriousness in this thing. And I looked at the four of them and said, now we're going to move up further. And then, nah, I thought, whoa, nobody's moving, no way. And eventually they realized, look, I took the keys out of the vacuum. Then I ran like a little distance, like from here to about to the garage because I could see him. And they told me, hey, come here. I want my mommy, no. This is not going to happen. And I stayed away from him for an hour from a distance watching him. Man.
Yo, my eyes.
It was good, man, because I know, like, I saw their rods. I was going to say their sticks, their pool sticks, with a gun was still in the water. They caught nothing. We got away there like after like 4.5 hours.
So you eventually found the keys?
No, they had to hardwire and brake and
yeah.
immobilizer, anti-hijack, and look, nobody could come and fetch us because, you run away from your wife. So now she's not going to fetch you. So we were stranded. But they got it right.
Yo, I said you lucky.
Yeah, no, definitely. I said to the back of the back on the way back. And just then, they didn't invite me over. And I did ask, like, really, man, I do want to try, but like, leave the violence, man. Definitely.
Look, I'm going to tell you something. You don't get between an angler, his rod, his reel, his tackle, and most definitely not the bucky, let alone the keys. Sure. So you were trading on a lifeline.
Definitely, yeah. I thought
family
that was also. Yeah, no. I saw that there's no family.
There's no family, man. You're fishing.
Like, fishing. It reminded me of it one TikTok said, fuck off, Bruce. Nah,
it's true. Mujie, listen here. So I'd like to touch on the wellness center that you have. Just give me that name again.
Wellness Sanctuary.
Right. So the Wellness Sanctuary, you said that you speak with people you're dealing with people. Besides, we'll get to the alcohol and the drug addiction part.
Mental.
The mental part. I just want to know, how do you handle that? Because that is a calling on its own.
Okay. So how I handle that is, look, if you do come from 90% of these people are addicts, unfortunately.
Okay.
So it's drug-induced psychosis.
Okay.
I work very, very closely with a doctor somewhere in Crossbark, Lotus River, let's call it that.
Right.
And my wife is the strong one, man. I promise you, way. People with mental issues, she's there's something about her that's got patience for them. Because look, you tell them, look, you need to do this, and then they'll like turn this whole place around, quickly put this couch on top of there. Like, you need patience, man.
Yeah.
But eventually now I learned, man, because you know what? I'm nothing better. Because if I'm going to sit still here too long, people will start seeing, like, I want to start, like, moving that rod here, because you become like your surroundings.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something, So we can call them people maybe with a temporary mental issue.
Temporary.
But I'm going to tell you something. I'm nonetheless, I already went and I did a couple of tests online just to see if I'm not ADHD. You can ask my wife. I went to see a psychologist because, like you say, you're sitting and then after a while you want to start climbing walls. So I'm just going to give you an idea. I love business. I've been in business all my life. I love starting a business. I love that rush of getting that business off the ground. But once it starts moving, now I get bored.
Is it?
Yeah. It's the same thing. For example, I watch TV. I click that thing all the time. Now I watch something. I say, let me watch. I'm 3/4 through the movie.
I do the same, and I can watch the same movie like for 2 weeks, and then I go sleep and I put it on a cage. Yeah, even if I'm driving now, I listen to 100 songs.
Yeah, it's true. I'm the same. I the one thing I also can't stand, I shouldn't tell you, wipers on the car. Like, it was raining. My wipers is on. I switch it off. Now seriously, I switch it off. Then on. So we all have something about us that is not. And I can't say not the norm. I would just say something that's different.
Yeah, imperfect perfections.
Exactly.
That's what I see as that.
So yes, okay, there is people that's maybe naturally wired a little bit different. That does need treatment. But just a quick one I'd like to touch on. And I think maybe Lance wants to say something before we before I touch on that.
Yeah, no worries. Listen, you said you've been how long? How long have you been doing this?
8 months.
Is this your first 8 months? You haven't done it before?
No.
Okay, cool. Look, just looking at you, this is the first time I met you. Looking at your videos, I could say, nah, this guy is a very fun guy.
Yeah.
You then spoke about on some of your videos about your background, where you came from, things like that.
Yeah.
One thing I do believe, also coming from not from a background of that, because I've never touched a drug, I don't drink, I don't smoke.
I can see your cheeks.
So yeah, I
I
was very skinny though. I was
Is
very
it?
skinny before this. Yeah, I looked like I was, but I wasn't. Just by the way. So one thing at the church I belonged to had a rehab as well, and one
Nice.
thing that I learned is that the people that came into the rehab, they're looking for love, man.
That's all they need.
So a lot of people that they want to surround themselves with these people that don't judge. So me that didn't do drugs, I was always with him, and eventually they asked like, when did you graduate from the rehab center? And I'm like, I was never here.
Yeah.
And they're like, now why are you so close to us? And I believe that the only way to get them onto the straight path is not only if you come from that, but also just love them and care for them, show them that you're not judging them.
definitely.
So for you, on the other hand, I would just like to know, can you maybe give us a bit of your background, how it came to this? And also,
Okay.
obviously you need to know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, definitely. Look, where my wife is concerned, once again, you woman is coming up a lot. I can relate a lot to where you are, right? Just never use the drug, nothing. But the wellness sanctuary is based on love and trust. Like, I trust every addict that comes in there. I don't lock up anything. I don't hide my keys. I don't hide my phones. I'm not going to hide money. It's like home, man. It's home away from home. Yeah. A bit about my background. I grew up single mom, obviously. Growing up, everything was fine. Started partying. I wanted to be around gangsterism, and my mother left me. Like, if that is what you want to be exposed to, guess what? I'll drop you there.
Yeah.
I'll drop you with the big boys and let's see. And eventually I thought, no, I'm not, this is not for me. Later on, I was exposed to the stuff. I didn't worry about it. Later on came partying. Started obviously with the one club that was here around the corner with atmosphere that the top started. And, us as Muslims, Christian, whoever, the dope is the no-go. Like, you have people, you can have everything. And, where I am at now, I speak about it openly. I don't care who's going to judge me, because at the end of the day, it's fine.
Yeah.
Then it led to partying, trance parties, which thereafter I fell in love with cocaine.
Yeah.
I had it all, I lost it all, and I woke up one day and I found out and I realized that I was the first colored sitting in the rehab for cocaine, and they didn't know what to do. And I didn't sleep for 3 weeks. It was no maar. Yeah, it was quite. That wasn't. And from there, that led to, that's an expensive thing, but not the thing that they've got now, because now you can buy 50 Rand, 20 Rand. Really, you can buy it. And from there, it led to. Look, my family, I won't say they pushed me away, but like, they got cut full, man. Because you know what, you don't come out of this, man. And 99% of us, we don't come from a background where your father and your mother's using. You come out of a decent background.
Yeah.
Where, it's either you're going to church or you're going to mosque. You need to go and learn, equip yourself, because without your higher power, there's nothing.
Yeah.
And I'll say higher power because, you find people that...
You want to answer that?
No, it's fine.
Sure.
They'll differentiate and whatever. No, it's just a higher power, right? But then I started getting involved in the towing industry, which...
What industry?
Towing.
Oh, towing.
Towing,
Okay.
and then I became like very dear Maka, and it's petrol, it's driving up and down, it's this, it's that, the other, and then I introduced myself to the tick and the buttons. Then I became this hardcore tow truck driver, looking for trouble, and then I tried to come right, like I was in 3 different facilities in Cape Town. I tried on my own 100 times, and then I came to realization, look here, man. This love that these people, they actually are giving me, no? I just need to wet my feet a bit, and just 5 times a day there's a calling, and like, there you go, man.
And that was your way out?
That was my way out, and I actually realized that the people are not bad people. It was just my mindset, and the way I was intoxicated at the time, it was the F-up. So I would never see that what you're doing is good enough, because now you're trying to get rid of me, you're planning on me. The paranoia, man. And I pushed myself down to a point where I cut myself off from everybody. Later on, we tried. I left for Namibia. I don't know if you guys probably heard. I was there for a year. fooled around there, but it didn't work out and came back. And even before my addiction started, I always wanted to help people in addiction because I grew up around people, around addicts.
Yeah.
And at the time, it looked impossible. And today, I'm grateful and I'm thankful for my journey because to me, it was a blessing.
Of course, yeah.
No matter how dark it was, no matter what police station I sat in, what law enforcement was chasing me, because now they're all shouting, "Wee!" Wherever I go. So that is where I come from.
And look, you needed to go through that
Definitely, because yes,
be here today. You know what I mean?
yeah, because otherwise you could bullshit me left, right, and center and tell me nah, this, that, and the other. I've tried everything. There's one drug I didn't touch, and no more drugs. But I've been around so much to the point that I can sit with anybody. Man.
Yeah.
I can sit with a big boss. I can sit with a small guy. We're all equal. I see everybody as equal.
Absolutely. So there's something I want to touch on quickly. So the one thing you mentioned that just kind of hit home, or at least not hit home, but I mean something that, because I'm a very positive person, I always tell my wife, no matter how tough things are, nobody's going to know how tough it's going with me.
No.
And I always keep the shiny side up, not for people, but for myself, in terms of I can conquer today.
Definitely.
And let me tell you something, if I needed to make 1,000 Rand today to be able to survive, and I made 700 Rand I conquered 700 Rand is better than nothing.
Than nothing, yes.
You said you woke up one morning, or you feel that you can save the world from drugs.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you guys something. That he is busy saving the world. He's doing it one person at a time. And like he said, he's 6 30s ahead already, but he saved 6. And even
there's only 30s, no, there's not addicts.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I know.
I'm a champion.
What I'm saying is,
I'm a legend.
You're already busy saving the world.
Yeah.
You're doing it one person at a time. But you are busy doing it. And before anywhere else, we want to motivate you to tell you, don't ever change that concept.
No, never.
There's just one question I got.
Yeah.
What do you attribute to somebody starting drugs? And I'm going to tell you this, for example. So both my kids, my daughter's 24, my son is 20. Right.
His son's name is Mujie as well.
My son's name is also Mujie. Right. Now listen.
Man, keep that guy close.
So listen, I gave both my kids the talk, and when they started primary school, I used to tell them, you know what, you won't understand now, but there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah.
You can have friends in grade 1, grade 2, grade 7, you can have a lot of friends, but you're going to lose that friends. You're going to high school, you're going to meet new friends.
Yeah.
That is that time of life. But the talk I gave them, besides the sex talk, because I threatened them, but I also told them that there's one thing I'm prepared to do, is look after you the best I can. So if you're not working at the age of 35 and 40, it's still my duty to look after you. Make sure you get out, providing you're not lazy and you are trying your best. But the one thing I won't help you with is drugs. So what I told him was, you take anything that is going to mess yourself up in terms of drugs. I told my daughter, that was the first one I spoke to, but she's older. I said, you know what? I'm prepared to pay for locks on the door, new gates, another alarm system.
Yeah.
The only problem is you use drugs, you'll be on that side of the gate. I said, I'm not giving you food. I won't give you a stitch to wear on your body. You can go and sell yourself in the main road to cover your addiction, because I'm telling you, that is what it will do to you. So you decide if you want to do it.
It's the best advice.
I told my son the same thing, and I made no jokes about it. I said, I'm not joking. The only money, I will not spend money on a rehab. While you're okay, I'm telling you, don't do it. If you do it, you're on your own. You're telling me that, and this is something that kind of just knocked me a little bit. You're telling me you need to show love to that person. And I feel now, maybe I was harsh with him, but I can't say it worked.
You know what?
Because I don't know if they would have tried it.
I wish more parents could have your mindset. Because, and I'm saying this on my live, and I'm putting it out there, and I'm actually going to put it out there for the world to know, hopefully. A lot of parents are lacking that talk.
That stance as well.
And that stance, that firm stance. Because look, at the end of the day, you know, I messed up. So you know what? I'm in my first rehab. When I come out, I need a pair of Nikes, Jordans, this, that, the other. It's not a reward.
Yeah.
It's not a reward. You know why? There's help.
There's help.
Yeah.
Before you even get to that point, like, it's very easy getting addicted.
Yeah.
Because you know what? You start lying to your parents, the people that will always be there. Because if I look at the wellness sanctuary, and I asked them this question yesterday, please tell me how many of your siblings came to visit. And I saw 3 hands up.
Out of?
20.
Yes. See.
Are you currently hosting 20 guests at your
Definitely,
place?
yeah.
My
For
friend,
now.
that is broad shoulders, eh? That's broad shoulders.
Yeah, I'm hoping inshallah to
So I mean,
to grow much bigger. That's
there
a
we
story.
go. And while we're at that, so I'd like to tell you that this podcast today is sponsored by Ben Care Pharmacy.
Oh,
They're a fairly new pharmacy between Jabir and his wife Rukia. They've got about 23, 24 years of pharmaceutical experience. And the reason why Jabir and him came on board was because it's funny that people get, and I'm going to he's given me a list of things, we're going to touch on it shortly.
Yeah.
He's brought along that a lot of people get addicted on pharmaceuticals, but there's a good side to pharmaceutical because it can be help as well.
Okay. Yeah, that is actually something that came to mind and slipped my mind. Also, the thing, like you said, you spoke to your daughter and your son. The new problem we're dealing with today is we're dealing with lean, right?
Yeah.
Lean,
Which
yeah.
is lean is it's equivalent to heroin. It's exactly the same thing. Don't tell me, I don't care who it is, that is not, right?
Mm.
So you go and buy your cough mixture, you ask them if there's codeine in. If that's in there, you get rid of it.
Yeah.
You get rid of it. Because anything that contains codeine is heroin. You know what? So the pharmaceuticals, the one is the codeine, is the cough mixture that they can buy over the counter. And I'm not here to any pharmacy to
No,
get you
no,
guys
no.
down. I'm just putting it out there because
Yeah.
you know what? I am a father. I am raising 7 kids. So it's that. You've got your Xanax, you've got your Alterazepam, your Alterazolam, and each and everything which they use as a high. I'm dealing with somebody now that is addicted to pharmaceuticals. And
Yeah.
I now need to take him to my doctor who also studied, right? So which I've got the upper hand that most places don't have,
Yeah.
right? So I'll take the person who's looking for the medication, the tablets, to the doctor, thinking he's going to get medication, but we'll do it the other way. That is why we also use a natural product called the Aqua Ozone Elite, which is
Okay.
So that is the way I go. But here and there, look, you do need pharmaceuticals.
Of course.
Yeah.
You do need it because I can't take a Panado for a headache. Unfortunately, it's not going to help. Here and there, I myself personally, I do pop 2-3 tablets with codeine in because if I've got the flu, I'm not going to go take Panado for the flu. It's not going to help. So but what I'm doing now is I'm trying to steer clear and finding a natural way of doing it. But at the end of the day, the pharmaceuticals are helping. It's just some of us are abusing it.
Abusing it, yeah.
So you find your youngsters now, and their ages now is between 14. The main gap is between 14, 16. That is where your lean is. So you'll take your cocaine and you need to come down. So instead of your weed, because the weed that you get today is laced with heroin and tuck.
Yes, see.
So don't just think you're buying your weed by tungus and tongue. No, the quickest way to get you addicted is
Of course.
just sprinkle a bit over there, and sooner or later you're going to see this child start acting like a barbarian. Then you're gonna wanna, not my child. That is your child. Now you phone me, I come out, I test the child. No, my son never did opiates before.
Most famous words.
Hello? A test doesn't lie. I can lie, I can tell you, I'll make it up now, I'm just so cuckoo. So I'll be in denial as much as you are, and we'll say, no, something happened.
So I'm actually going to tell you something. So he's a very interactive guy. He's got a personality that is beyond bubbly. It's awesome. He's got an energy that's second to none. And we love it. You must never change that
I
about him.
can't.
Right? But the energy that I want to talk about now is your eigende, Mr. Smith.
Yeah! Look!
JP Smith, by
Yeah,
the way.
just-
JP Smith asking me, the woo!
I just want to ask you, what triggered you there? Because are you a guy that has a car that's dicing, things like that, racing?
Look, my bakkie was done up, but still low. I think it's one of the lowest highlights that Cape Town have, and I'm not going to lift it.
Okay.
This bakkie does a lot of work, saves lives, so I feel I'm entitled to it being an ambulance.
You can jump over what's the words.
Yeah, look here, JP, my bro, don't scold. Look, sometimes people phone, and I dream was always to be an ambulance driver, really. So if somebody phoned me to say, look, my son is here, now is the time, and then gooi, bro, gooi. I believe the V8 is still in the air. Gooi.
But I mean, you jumped onto that, and to the point that you were actually in one of the meetings with him.
Look, I wasn't invited.
Oh,
No, never. I tried. No.
you sat there like a ward counselor.
No.
Nah.
Somebody told somebody that it'll be at Garlandale. I live very close by, and I thought this is the opportunity so I can crack through. Yeah, I was never invited.
No.
I tried long and long.
But I'll tell you this much from what I was watching on your videos, you were very active.
Definitely.
But I'm going to tell you one thing: you were spot on with a lot of things.
No. You know what? No, if I had to carry on, man, and why I stopped, to be very honest, is our community. Let's call it that. We don't like supporting. Because you started it, I'm not going to be too dingers on it.
Yeah.
And we could have gotten away. We can still get away with a lot, because I can promise you, I get away with a lot. A lot of them love me. A lot of traffic cops, law enforcement. And I'm not going to mention which traffic department. I went in I was pretty nervous, man, because I was pushing on this man. I knew I had warrants. So I went into this traffic department, and they told me, look here, man, gaan staan buiten. And I said, yeah, but now why must Marcella stay inside? It was not my wife's ID now I'm giving you. And I went out, and I was like, yay. And they called me in, and I didn't see her sitting with a phone like this, man. And recording me. And then they sat and they told her, you know what? We're going to play a prank on him now. We're going to get him back. And they told me, listen here, we're arresting you now. And I said, I can't, look here, I'm done with it. Look, I wanted to chance you. I told her, hello, oh, somebody bail money. They told me, no bail money. I tell him, look here, I'm done with everything now. I'm going to change my life now. You'll see me in mosque every day. Because look here, I didn't expect them to be in on it and to be, look at the liquor people. Some of them, look here, really, they're quiet. And then I was like, hey, who's now? Like, how are you gonna pay? And at the time we weren't doing well, but whatever. And I thought, look here, I can't sell this bakkie. I promise you, this bakkie is sentimental value. I thought, you know what? No, I tell her, yo, sell the bakkie, man. And the officer asked me, so what are you gonna do? I said, look, I can't go live and ask the people on TikTok. And only when we left there, and then she told me, like, look here, and they told me, and I was like, yo, shit, if it's a handcuffs, I want to cry and clean my pants, yo.
It was like deja vu.
Yeah, like, why? I'm a good person.
You know what, and that attributes to personality.
Yeah.
You stress your message, but you were very decent about it.
Yeah.
Even though there was times you weren't. So
yeah,
you know,
I'm working on that, man. Really.
But can I tell you?
But it's part of me, man.
Yeah, that's what you are.
Do you know what Lance keep telling me?
Yeah.
So we do this together. So he tells me, Ibi, you need to overlook the stupid and the negative commentary.
Yeah,
He tell me,
Morning, I sent him
he sent me a message.
voice note.
He tell me, work on it. I say, okay, Lance, check it. But while he's telling me that, I already had a message typed out for another brother on social media.
You know what?
So I just deleted it.
Come I tell you something. That is how I started TikTok.
Right.
I was in Namibia, and normally I would use this bakkie I had at the time as my character, right? The bakkie.
Right.
And eventually the bakkie was sold, and then somebody said something about your master, and then I brought the whole Afrikaans and alles in it. That video went viral. And then I started folding up, and then that was my thing. And then I realized, but yeah, there's puppies watching also.
Yes.
But sometimes I can't help it. So parents, close their ears, man. If you slow, sometimes it's not always good.
You know,
but we try. I tried now. I try now and keep it more liquor for the people.
No, absolutely. Now I want to tell you something. So it's something I mentioned to Rian Rademeyer and a couple of guys.
Yeah.
You know what's great about fishing? It's a sport that takes you away, no matter what problem you got here. When you're out on that fishing ground,
people run away from your wives. That is what you people do.
Yeah, my wife is gonna watch this video sometimes.
Everybody's
Maybe
wife,
all the time.
they run.
Look, yeah, it takes you away, but it's also something constructive. So I take it from Mujie, my son.
Yeah.
He was playing rugby. He got into VP Kids.
Nice.
He played rugby from primary school into high school. He did well at it and excelled. And I There was a time I told him choose soccer or rugby because I can't do both.
Yeah.
It's tiring. So he said, okay, Dad, rugby. All right, and he stayed with rugby, and I supported him, and he's still got a fishing rod. He goes on the odd fishing trip with us, things like that. But at least I know it's something I can do when
Yeah.
I'm still 80 and
Yeah.
my kid can be whatever age,
Yeah.
and I can still do it with him. But for me, it's the tranquility, it's the peacefulness, it's the understanding nature, and it's being able to do that. And I think if a lot of parents have that type of bond and put that time into their kids,
Yeah.
then it will
100% I
make
agree
you
with you.
saving the world, and
Yeah.
you can, you don't always
Definitely.
have to have on the blue suit or the red underpants.
Yeah, I know.
You can
don't have to
reduce
have
it now and then,
Definitely.
you know.
And you know what? I'm at that point now where for the past 8 months I've just been giving back. And I'm not going to lie, I was watching like when you people were on that trip.
Yes.
So I came across it and I watched it and I thought, yes, this would have been something nice for me because it was a break.
Yeah.
But then also I can't walk too far because if I walk from here to the corner, I must on the ambulance because my lungs are like that is my hobby. But
So I'd like to tell you, we are going to be hiking that same hike on the 18th of September.
He great saying that.
So it's something that can work for you. But I can tell you this: you can come along because we've got a backup vehicle. So worst case scenario,
yeah.
after you walk 10 k's and you want to take a 5-minute break,
Yeah.
you can.
No, definitely. I will go for it.
There we go. Take you on that challenge.
Definitely. I actually enjoyed watching it. I promise you. And I saw like how you people got together, and that is what our generation should do, man. Inspire the youngsters to do something.
Yeah.
And that was Dukia. That was a whole mad adventure. Like what normal people
Exactly.
decide to walk from here to Cape Gallus.
And
Like,
it's a-
yay!
It's a journey. We normally drive in our luxury 4x4s with aircon, music playing, and all the luxuries. And all we had was a backpack and your pair of tackies that you thought will do the journey. It hurt you, my bro.
Definitely. Something had to hurt you.
Exactly. So maybe, and it's just a thought, guys. You guys can tell us what you think. That for us to have a bond, maybe where we take some of your guests. I'm
Yeah.
going to call them guests.
Yeah, definitely the guess.
And we do a camp, and we take it out of Cape Town. For example, we go to Island Kraal. We set up camp.
Yeah.
We let them chop the wood. We let them make the fire. We can sing Kumbaya around the fire. Do
Yeah,
whatever.
no, definitely.
You know.
Look, with my group that I have, this is my third group that I've got now, third, fourth group. I'm not too sure which group, I don't know. Like I take chances, man. I'm opportunist. Like I take them all out of that house and I take them like to the beach. Like who does that?
Yeah.
I take them on hikes. Who does that? Like how are they gonna run away? And
So you do hikes and things like that to them.
not me personally.
Okay.
I don't.
I take them on hikes.
Yeah, look, I arrange it.
Oh, you arrange it.
Okay.
I
You
use that
organize
time.
it.
Yeah,
Coordinate it.
definitely, but I'm not gonna. No, yeah, my legs, you know.
Look, now all jokes aside, eh?
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to answer that?
No, man.
Somebody looking at you,
Nah, shame, man. I just hope I'll get back to them all. They know nothing is. Here we go.
Okay, cool. No, listen. You were actually the second person that came on the podcast that have two phones, one for TikTok and one personal phone.
Yeah, this is work.
Yeah, that's what the
And finally, I got that one now for TikTok.
He finally got a nice iPhone. I saw
Yeah.
it. Even the quality of video changed.
Smartwatch Lab, yeah, they hooked me up, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I saw the video.
Smartwatch Lab.
Where are they?
Thank you, smart.
They are in Promenade. They gave it to me quite pricey.
Okay, cool.
Thank you very
because
much to them.
I don't spoil myself, man.
Yeah.
I'd rather make sure my addicts. I don't know if you've seen my videos, like they buy like 90% of the time. They eat home cooked food because I sit at the table and I eat with them.
Liquor.
My children are up and down there, and there's method to that.
Okay.
Like you a
The
parent.
trust, that's where the trust come in as well. Eh?
You a parent, and you know what? Look how lekker I'm doing it.
Okay.
So what makes you different?
Yeah.
Nothing. We're all human. You made a mistake. So what? Let's move.
Yeah.
Let's
Look,
move.
like if you mentioned, you guys are welcome. We can try and organize something. We can arrange something, and it's nothing more therapeutic than going fishing. I promise you.
Yo, I
Look here.
don't know. I heard so.
Look here, I promise you.
We'll go one day.
Do you
and
ever
see
go
how
on a-
therapeutic it is.
I somehow go on a fishing trip and I forget I have a job. I forget I have a family. I forget everything, and that's a problem. It can be a problem sometimes, but I don't believe in going to a psychologist and
Yeah.
and another person telling me how I must live my life, what I must do.
Definitely. Yes.
So I think, let me see, and I experiment and I see what works for me, and fishing is the way out.
There we go. And I think that is something that a lot of people, and I think I'm going to speak in your favor now, should try. Give
Yeah.
it a chance. I'm prepared to give it a chance now. I've been watching, and I think, what is that uncle's name? Mario.
He must.
Yeah, and I see that man sitting here, then he's there, then yay.
He was here the other night.
Yeah, yes.
So,
And I was like, Uncle, when you sit still, you're always fishing.
Yeah.
but that is the greatness about fishing, and so there's something I'm going to share with you. So Jabir from
Yeah.
UK Pharmacy, he says some of the most common medication that is readily available over the counter are being abused both socially and internally by youth, teenagers,
Definitely.
and young adults.
Yes.
Now, before I even go here, I just want to tell you something. You spot on. The names that you mentioned, in other words, the ingredients that you mentioned, here we go. These ingredients are common in pain and fever tablets, but especially in cough medicines. You spoke about the product, right? It says the sensation or the heat derived for the users is drowsiness and a relaxed or chilled vibe
Yeah.
and impaired concentration. He says the sensation is aggravated by simultaneous intake of alcohol or marijuana.
Mm.
Right? Dangers of continuous use include dependency on the substance and the risk of impaired liver and kidney function, amongst other things. Now, there's another part that we'll get to. I watched I think it was a documentary on people that were using skin lightness.
Mm.
And it's almost like a type of bleach in the I don't know what's the name now, I can't come to the name, but this would kind of kill the pigments of the skin and it would make the skin lighter.
Mm.
But that ingredient was banned in South Africa because it causes skin cancer. And there's one young guy that was using it. It's obviously because it's an ego boost for him,
Yeah,
because his skin is
definitely.
better. And when they told him, she had the product tested and she told him this is what the product is, it's banned in South Africa, but this is the outcome, it could give you skin cancer.
Yeah.
There's a very high risk of it. And his turn was, oh, I never knew, but I don't think I'll ever stop using it. And that is an addiction of another level, because it's a
Definitely.
social addiction.
Yes.
Understand what I'm saying? So when we speak about addictions, it's not just the intake,
Yeah,
but
no.
it's the external use as well.
Definitely.
So here's my one question to you. What besides your story, if you listen to the stories of your guests at
Yeah.
what did you attribute the fact that people get into the addiction of being it alcohol, being it any narcotic? What did you say? Is it the social upbringing? Just touch on
Dark
that for us.
backgrounds.
What's that?
Dark backgrounds.
Dark.
Growing up in broken homes. Most of the time it's like abusive parent
Parent support.
yeah, parent support, family support. And where we fail, I would say where we fail as people is, and this is something that that always brings emotion, man. You know, watching the next person. I need to be like him.
Comparing yourself to them
You're
also.
putting yourself through so much, and it's really, it's hard so, man. Because we've all given a different path in life, but it doesn't mean because you're driving a newer double cab that I now need to go and use, because guess what? I can't get a double cab.
Frustrated.
I'm frustrated because now I'm like the swat scarpy, but like, have you ever tried something else? No.
So also, and rectify me if I'm wrong, you also get the matter where it's just mischievousness.
Yo, definitely.
Somebody wants to fit in with the cool crowd.
Definitely.
I think that's the most important.
That's the most
especially now.
important thing now.
Peer pressure.
Right now, that is the problem I'm sitting with. I promise you. I wish that I could open up, and inshallah, I don't know, it might just happen, it will happen now. I'm saying it now, that where I can keep youngsters, because if you go now, most of the high schools I go and visit, you look at their ages, and we call them one side, like whoever wants to stay behind.
Yeah.
You've got your 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old. They are the ones. And you know what it started with? I started with Pity that's standing on the corner.
Yeah.
Because what the gangs are doing now is, and I'm sorry if they see it, I don't care also, I'd rather use that youngster because he's not getting the love and attention at home.
Yeah.
So now he's with a
Showing the
bruiser.
love. Showing the love. Yeah.
There we go. So it's happening at the schools, 90% at the schools, and then it's happening at home. That 10% is more at home. because at schools it's readily available.
Yeah.
Our schools are not equipping themselves like hard. You need to be hardcore.
Look, and in no way are we bashing also.
No,
If
never.
we
We
look
never
at-
bashing. We
If
here
we
to help.
look at, if we look at, for example, certain videos, and I'm going to tell you something. We have videos that trend and the views are very low. And the
Yeah.
one thing I'm going to tell you that I've seen on social media, if you can bleed, look stupid, be crazy, act like a dumbass, do all types of things, your videos trend,
Yeah, you need
Big
to.
time.
Yeah.
right? So a lot of people are falling into trends. You look at certain rap songs where guys are speaking about coke and
Lean.
and
Yeah.
and,
Lean,
and
yeah, that is-
you know
Lean
those
with
type
it,
of things.
pop with it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I listen to a lot
That's
of the
my
music.
favorite song when they come in there. And I look at you and I start singing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lean with it, pop with it.
now I look at myself. Call me boring if you want. For example, where I listen to the rap music, I'm thinking, I mean, this thing don't make sound. Listen to Ray, what's the old name that sing there, whatever it is, like a old school R&B,
Yeah, Celine
like a
Dion,
hip-hop,
Mariah. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
still stuck in that
like a
era.
hip hops. You know, I was born in '74. I'm a kid of the '90s, not the '80s, because in the '80s I was still a young teenager. I only got my license and things in the '90s, and then it started ricking for me.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And I always looked at wanting to be part of that cool crowd. But then I check, nah, man, my car stink like smoke when the guys are smoking. I used to tell them, yeah, last it smoking in my car, go sit outside. You know, those type of things. So there's a lot, but I also think for me, this is how I sometimes look at things. I studied TEFL, teaching English as a foreign language.
Nice.
And one of the things that we taught there was the particular course that I did was there was a section of a bit of psychology, because how do you deal with a businessman to try and speak to him English? You can't treat him like a kid.
No.
He speaks Chinese, Japanese, or Italian, whatever language it is. You can't treat him like kids. So there's a different format of dealing with
Yeah.
him. Then one of the big things for me was, besides a youngster, was a teenager. And one of the things that they told us, a teenager that's going through puberty, mom and dad got divorced. You've now got to teach this kid English.
Yeah.
How do you handle that? Because that is a personality on its own. And that is not a born personality. It's a created
Creative
person.
personality.
So we've got to work on those type of things. And, you know, I looked at that and I thought to myself, if I was in your country, I would take you fishing. And I'll explain to you this and I'll explain to you that and take you away from that and force you into sitting and just accepting tranquility and understanding that there's beauty to the world. And this is why
Definitely.
fishing is big to me. So, you know, we always hear people making jokes and they say, hey, Keke, imagine now you leave your phone there. If that cop grab that thing, there's no ways you're going to catch him. And then we make humor out of it and we say, yo, there's no way you'll catch up to a tick-up. The only time is when the drug is out of him and he crashes. Now you can maybe find him in your phone.
Yeah, but then the phone is gone.
The phone is
already.
gone.
Sure.
But what we're saying is we make jokes and we sometimes look down on people
Yeah.
that's on drugs. But I do believe you got to look at the situation. And we can't judge.
100%. You know, we taught that every day and we go through our day-to-day lives with this whole thing of don't judge.
Yeah.
Like, if you're looking for somebody that is like, yo, I promise you, honestly, I will sit and have a fat-ass conversation. Okay, my wife, like, if you drive down this Turfel Road here and you stop at any robot, they'll tell you exactly when she came past there, who she drove with, how long she sat and spoke to them. She'll have fat conversations and she'll tell me this one is very educated, this one is that way. Can't I bring them in? And I tell her, I can't just save the whole world
At once.
at once. You need to relax. Because you know what? Like, you're saying, yeah, that tick up. And a lot of people, man, like, yeah, even I sometimes say, yeah, look at the tick up is okay. If up, if I see them, but my heart goes out to the family, man, the parents.
It's much deeper than that. So here's my thing. I listened to you when you were getting arrested. You don't have the money for it. So clearly, we are going to assist you to mention this. There is a plight for assistance for you to be able to accommodate your guests, because clearly it doesn't come free.
Yeah, definitely.
Everything's gone expensive. You've got now 20 people showering at your house, 20 additional people showering at your home, 20 additional people you must cook for.
Yeah.
What is the method that we can ask people to reach out to you, to be able to assist you, to help?
The best method is TikTok. TikTok is the best. WhatsApp maybe.
Reach out to you on TikTok.
On TikTok.
You want to leave your number?
We can.
I will. I think you've got my number. And then,
Is that a number that we will put into
Yeah.
the
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
put
you can
it
put it,
right
yeah.
now. We'll put it right now.
And
Yeah.
anybody, don't do it through us. What you're going to do is, when we put the number, the WhatsApp number, please contact Muji himself. Go for it.
Oh, what happened here now?
Nah, you must. He's on TikTok live, guys, while he's doing this. So you must just make sure. That's just to show you all active, man.
Oh, hectic. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you must want such a quiet phone. So what we're
well,
gonna do
that's
is we're gonna put it there.
Yeah.
Please contact Muji himself.
Yeah.
And speak to him and find a way to assist. And
Yeah.
from our side, we're going to arrange that we can do a camp.
nice.
We will
Shukran.
try and get the camp sorted and sponsored. We will most definitely try and get people on board for the meals. We're gonna take a couple of rods with. We're gonna take the guys down to the beach. We're gonna make them chop their wood. We're gonna make them braai. We can liaise with you to find out what it is that we can do. We can even have simple games to
No,
keep these guys
definitely.
going.
And that is what they enjoy on the weekend. Because look, so far, and I must say, I'm grateful because I've got like businesses on board now that is, I've got like, what,
I mean,
8, 9 of them that is working.
there we go.
Where I had somebody that was in program.
Mhm.
And he told me, I'm this, when they come in and they start telling you the story, you're like, nah, wait, not now. Let's calm down a bit. And then,
Oh.
and he's actually at the call center. And he later on told me, listen, can I have 4 of them at a time? And he's the one business. And now they're doing so well that they're waiting for the next 4.
There we go.
So I steer them and I equip them. Then my mom's catering company, where she again, whenever there's an event, she takes them. So we try and build you up
should do
again.
this.
Your self-esteem is very important, man.
You know what? You mentioned a couple of simple things, and I'm going to tell you a simple things that we overlook. A simple word like self-esteem. We don't realize that sometimes somebody gets himself into the situation where they're addicted. Their morale is broken, their self-esteem is broken because I'm a druggie. Niemand gaan vir my help. Nobody's going to help me. People are going to doubt me. You're going to knock on the door. People's going to see my pupils are dilated and tell you, gaan nie weg. But you know what? You've changed a lot of things of my thoughts, simple stuff and things that I should have known. So my wife is standing over there, my beloved, and she spearheads a non-profit organization, which is the Center for Family and Early Childhood Development Interventions. And what I'm asking her as she stands there is that we must find a way to collab with you as well. That when you have youth, like I know many of you as youngsters, but that just always touch base with us, that we can find a way to see how we can assist. And our people and our donors and sponsors that come up. So even if we can get you a bag of rice, for example, it helps. Because
It does help.
Absolutely.
Because lately we've also got our MPO sorted now. But I've got an auntie that messaged me out of the blue the other day. And, I'm grateful to a lot of people who's come on board and started sponsoring. In the beginning of the first 6 months was hard.
Yeah.
I thought really I wasn't asking for it. But it makes many hands now make lighter work.
Absolutely.
And people start coming on board with, look, here's this, is that, is this. And it all helps me. So I turn nothing away.
So it's not just, and please people understand, it's not just about people bringing you tangible items like a bag of rice, milli meal for porridge or whatever it is. Remember something, Mujahid and his wife have sacrificed their home. Am I right? That's your residence.
No.
Oh, you're not residing?
No.
But who is the
beginning I
caregivers?
was there. I've got caregivers there.
Right.
I've got my mother-in-law, which is a nurse there, that will pop in. But she'll just be there, like, even if she comes to my house and I just give her, like, okay, this is the rundown, this is what you're using, and then I'll get the script from there, or if need be, I need to take you to my doctor who also helps us.
Okay. So we always try and form collab partners, networking and things like that. And we will also get Jabir from Benke Pharmacy to touch base with you. So maybe if you guys need medication, that he can work out something with costing and things like that. We will most certainly ask the plight that these things has got to be paid and can't be paid with a bag of rice.
Definitely.
It's got to be paid with some sort of donation.
The
and
sad
funding.
part that I sit with sometimes is you find this old lady that will phone you, or this mother phoning you, and she's unemployed.
Yeah.
And she needs help for her son. And unfortunately, I try and do 2 because the program is 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'll try and get 2 of them in because I can't cover for everybody and everything.
Just pro bono.
So I just I take that 2 and I try.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time they like your brightest. I promise you, their willingness, their eagerness, because I'm given another opportunity at life.
Yeah, of course.
And what do? Yo, I got on with him, yeah. I make him like so demaka like me. I make him demaka. I make him believe that sky is the limit, and they go for it.
Mujahid. Once again, we'd like to say thank you to you.
Thank you very much.
We approached
thank you for
Benke
having us.
Pharmacy and we told him who's coming on board and what it's about. And Jabir and his wife from Benke Pharmacy in Rosmead Avenue never flinched because they're in pharmaceutical and they know that some of the products could be addiction.
Yeah,
They were willing to come on board.
nice.
And simply hearing that as somebody like you, they were, I think, very excited. So all I can say to you from myself, our NPO, Hooked Cost and Customs, Lance can do his own thank you to you, is that don't ever stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
But most of all, don't ever stop being who you are.
Cool.
You're doing an excellent job. I'm one of your guys that follow you on TikTok. And what you're doing, I can't say I love it. I did. It's not a word strong enough. So well done to you. All respects to your wife. All the best to you and your family for taking on this journey, because for your kids as well, it's a journey.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So once again, my friend, all the best to you. From us to you, Benke Pharmacy, thank you very much.
Very much from my side also, and the whole wellness sanctuary and my family. Thank
There
you
we
to
go.
all of you for having us.
It's
here
our
today.
pleasure. Our pleasure so much.
And then just a thank you from me as well. I just touched on something. Thanks for having faith in people that don't have faith in themselves.
Definitely, yeah. Like
Most
JP.
importantly. Guys. that wasn't part of the plan. Once again, thanks, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no
Guys, don't
problem.
forget, the video will be posted on Hooked Cost and Customs. Go on to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and also Hook and Grill on YouTube. And then also we'll leave Muji's details in
Yeah,
the
no
description below.
problem.
Thanks
Yeah.
again, guys. We're out.